Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss Season 1 of Disney Plus's original series, The Mandalorian. Jon Favreau, we know him as the director of Elf, the director of Iron Man, now the creator of The Mandalorian. He's been Happy Hogan in, the Infinity Saga of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Iron Man's right-hand man. Jon is an amazing creator. He was in Chef with, I forget her name. Oh my god. It's gone. I cannot remember her name. Anyway, Jon's been doing a bunch of stuff. So, years back, he had pitched an idea for a TV series based off of the Mandalorians. Now, we know of Boba Fett. We know of Jango Fett from the original Star Wars trilogy and the prequel trilogy as well. So we know that they're Mandalorians. But what is a Mandalorian? Mandalorian is a creed. It's a religion. It's not a race. There is a planet of Mandalore, but the Mandalorians have a specific creed that they abide by. You can't take your helmet off. You do your things. You hunt. You don't gather, but you are called in for missions and recon missions and breaking people out of things and, collecting bounties, etc. You do what you can. There's a lot of other rules to it, but this is the versions we see, with this particular series. So we have our Mandalorian, who is just called Mando. We don't get a name until the very, very end. And Mando is on Navarro, a planet called Navarro. There's Navarro, we go to Tatooine at some point, we go to Sargon, go to a bunch of other places. So we start out on Navarro. He is working with an ex-magistrate named Grief, and he gets a puck. He goes out to get this guy, brings him back, gets some money in the form of credits or etc. And then he gets this high-stakes thing. So he meets with this ex-imp, Imperial Sergeant General, if you will, to collect this target that there's intel from 50 years ago. So he goes off to this planet to find this target, meets up with an IG-11 unit droid who also has a tracking fob to collect this target. So they come out with an agreement that they will, split the bounty. But then once it's revealed that the target is a baby, and it is a baby of the great and wise Yoda's species. We don't actually know Yoda's species. It doesn't actually have a name. But so the internet has dubbed it Baby Yoda. But in the show, they call it the child, and they call it the foundling. So they see the child. IG says, too bad we can't see it grow. Species grow at different rates. This one's 50 years old, and obviously it's still a child, etc. But the Mandalorian himself was a foundling. His parents were killed from an Imperial attack way back when on his home planet. So he doesn't want to do the same thing. He's now attached to this child because this child is a foundling like he was a foundling. He was saved by a Mandalorian, and now he gets the chance to save a Mandalorian. No, he gets to take the chance to save a foundling. So they wind up killing what's his name? They wind up killing the IG unit, and then all of a sudden he feels bad, and he's like, no, he doesn't feel bad. I'm kidding. So he kills the IG unit, collects the bounty on the kid, starts asking questions, what's going to happen with the kid? And he's like, but I'm not supposed to be asking questions because it's against guild protocol. So he collects the money. The kid winds up getting experimented on. He winds up going back, breaking the kid out. All hell breaks loose. This is episode 3. This is only 8 episodes. This is going on. So then the Mandalorians come out from underground after the Bactar is processed as armor. They then go on a killing spree so that way Mando and the child can escape. Mando and the child escape to a planet on Sorgan, thinking it's okay to be on. They meet up with this ex-rebel dropper, Cara Dune, save this farm community from raiders. Realize they have to leave again because the kid is still being tracked by all of these, all of these guild members. So then Mando and the kid wind up going to another planet where they meet this other character who's this badass who's trying so hard to get into the guild, but he's not working on it. So he winds up trying to steal the kid, and then he winds up being killed, and then there's a heist in 6 where Mando is reaching out to old friends to break another friend out of jail. Whole thing goes on. Another droid is trying to kill the kid, and then Mando winds up killing the droid again. 7 and 8 is just intense because we're back on Navarro. The arrangements and double crosses try to be made with the ex-Imperial general, for that matter. But then the general's commander, if you will, Moff Gideon, has a fleet of death troopers and stormtroopers galore, and he's got flame troopers. It's just the works. And now it's interesting because the Empire is gone, and yet all of this stuff is still happening. So it's interesting that it's gone, but it's not gone. Semi-gone. Underground gone. Let's put it that way. Moff knows everything about everyone. He knows that Cara Dune was, Alteran, and he knows that Din Djarin is the name of the Mandalorian. Then we're talking about Magistrate Grief at some point. He knows everyone's backstories. So then battles go on. The IG unit is reprogrammed from Quill, who Din Djarin meets, a while back on another planet, as a protector and nurse droid for the child. So they're back on Navarro. IG is kicking butt with Baby Yoda strapped to his chest for my beautiful shirt. Thank you, Santa. And, oh yes, I have a ring pop. I was eating it prior to our discussion here. So the IG unit is just kicking butt and then winds up saving Din because he has to take off his mask, and you're not supposed to take off Mandalorian's mask. But the IG unit explains, he's like, I have never been living, so your creed is fine. Heals him with some Bacta spray, and they escape, and then there's this massive battle with Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter and Mando with his rocket pack, and gorgeous. So then it's established that Mando is the foundling's father, that he has to bring him back to his origins. He has to find where he's from. He has to bring him back to his own kind to make sure that everything is okay, and etc. That he was once a foundling, and now he has a foundling. So he found the foundling. There you go. That's why it's called a foundling. An orphan soul who needs the guidance of one wiser than them, etc. Take him in as your own. So will Baby Yoda become a Mandalorian? We shall see. This season is only 8 episodes long. It was absolutely incredible. Bryce Dallas Howard directed the 4th episode. Jon Favreau wrote and directed a lot of the episodes. Taika Waititi is the voice of IG-11, and he directed the 8th episode. Incredible to have these Marvel boys, Jon Favreau, Taika Waititi, being voices and creative influences on this particular thing. Now it's interesting because the last few Star Wars films have not, within the Skywalker saga, haven't been all that prevalent. Obviously, box office, pop culture, yes, but people keep whining, complaining about it because the story is just mundane. It's the same good versus evil. It's that white knight mentality. It's just annoying. We need something new. And the Mandalorian shows up and you're like, holy shit, this is incredible. This is just, it reminded me a lot of Rick and Morty, that every episode was different in an adventure front, but an action sequence and space pirate front and new worlds and new aliens and this and that and protecting a kid. And it's just, people are talking about this for reasons, because this shows true character development. This shows backstory. This shows poetic justice on certain fronts. And there's so many questions left to be obtained. Moff Gideon's TIE Fighter went down, but he survived, and he's back with the Darksaber. Now, we see the Darksaber in the, Rebels TV series, back in the day. So how did Moff Gideon wind up with the Darksaber? Are we going to go back into that front? Are we going to see those things? Are we going to learn how things came about in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens? That's where this show takes place. So season 2 was announced that it comes out in fall 2020. That means pre-production is starting now. Probably going to be shooting in the end of winter, beginning of spring, give or take, I'm assuming, for the fall 2020 release with CGI and stuff. The soundtrack was incredible. You see how animated I am talking about this. This is an incredible TV series. 8 episodes long, incredible TV series. Baby Yoda cooing and Mando sighing. Coo, sigh. That's the wrap-up of the show. That's literally the full explanation. They're like, oh, how's Mandalorian? Coo, sigh. That's the show. Adventures in Babysitting in Space. Incredible. So I'm very excited for season 2. I'm so excited for Baby Yoda merch. Cannot wait. All of the merch is starting to come out, but toys are not going to be coming out to the spring. I understand the secrecy to make sure Baby Yoda slash the child slash the foundling was not actually publicized, so it kind of makes a little sense, but at the same time, you're like, I want to see more. We deserve some more. So, with that being said, have you guys seen season 1 of The Mandalorian? Are you as obsessed of season 1 as The Mandalorian as I am? This is the way. I have spoken. Mucho mahalo.